And there we go. I think that's us. I think we are live. Yay! Always a big excitement when I manage to get live on the right channel with hopefully sound and visuals working. Please do let us know in the chat if that isn't the case, because that's always fun. And you can see me running around like a headless chicken trying to fix it. But hi everyone, this is our very late in April, but our April streamer spotlight, which I'm very excited, and I've got the lovely Maidens minis with me.
Hello, hello.
It's so awesome to have you. Thank you so much for coming on, and very fresh off of your fundraising streaming adventure, because it was only last month as part of Operation Ukraine. So I think this is the freshest streamer spotlight that we've done, which is very exciting. Oh, are you there?
Hello, sorry, lost you.
I really hope that was your internet and not mine.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It just kind of bugged out a little bit. Maybe because I've got the stream up at the same time. I'll turn the stream off my end.
All good. Right, I'm just double checking everything's working. My end as well.
Could well be been me.
It looks okay. But do let us know in the chat if it's not. Hey Jeremy, nice to have you. How's your day been? There you are. Okay, I was very confused.
Okay. I think I'm okay now. What I've done, I've paused the video stream my end, so I've just got the chat. So I think it might have been too much for my laptop to handle.
Oh no, poor little laptop. We've all been there, don't worry.
Yeah.
And Jeremy has let us know that the sound is all good, which is cracking. Thank you so much. But yeah, I guess I was just going to sort of do a little general hi. Operation Ukraine, if you don't know, we do have a lot of...
I had to spam my email in chat and it timed me out.
Oh, I was like, I'm very confused. This is not a message I'm used to having in the chat. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so Operation Ukraine is our lovely emergency appeal that we're having over on Tiltify, which is for all streaming fundraising activity that's raising money for the British Red Cross Ukraine appeal. And drumroll please, because since the 24th of February when we launched, we have now raised just under £380,000, and that's just from you guys, from streaming and gaming.
Wow.
And that is amazing, let alone what's happening across the charity in other areas. So yeah, just awesome, and I definitely wanted to start with that.
Yeah.
I'm just, Jeremy, can you just, is the it keeps freezing on my computer. Does it keep freezing for you as well? I really hope it's not freezing. But do let me know if it is freezing. That's not the ideal. But anyway, I will move on because we've got the very lovely Maidens minis with us here. And we're here to talk about you and your fabulous stream and your fundraising journey, I guess, is a bit more to it. And what is really exciting is we've always had streamers on the channel who are doing gaming. And you're our very first non-gaming fundraiser on our spotlight, a streamer spotlight. I can't speak today. On our streamer spotlight, which is awesome, and just so excited to hear a bit more about it. But also, you've been such a central part of our fabulous community on Discord, starting off all of this Warhammer chat, and I believe there's now chat about lots of like Minecraft servers and bits and pieces. So I feel like it's the catalysm to start our little community sort of really going places. It's very lovely to have you, and thank you so much for joining the British Red Cross. It's awesome. Right, I'm going to stop babbling away and just say, can you introduce yourself, tell us a bit about you really?
Yeah, so obviously my real name is Jake, but I go by Maidens Minis for all my kind of miniature painting over Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, wherever. That's my name across the board for that. Obviously, as I said, I'm a miniature painter, so mainly Warhammer, but do other stuff as well. But I do dabble a bit of gaming sometimes on my streams as well, so it's not just miniature painting, but it's more likely going to be that if you tune in. So there, is it frozen?
The
Video's
video's
freezing.
freezing a bit. Can still hear you fine though. Okay. Well, maybe we'll go with that, and I'll see what can happen. Bethan is also saying the same for her. So let's just hope it doesn't persist. So I'm not really sure what else I can do on my end. But we'll just thank you so much for that introduction. Really awesome. What games do you play on your channel? I'm very intrigued. And also tell us more about painting miniatures and how you got into that and when you got into that, and yeah, how's that going?
Yeah, well, we'll quickly dabble a bit of the game side because it's very small. I tend to play Minecraft really, but I also play games like I don't know explain it, like puzzle games, I suppose. Like there's a game called Unpacking where you're basically unpacking boxes. It sounds really weird. You're unpacking boxes and stuff and putting stuff on the shelves in the house. If you check it out, it's a very relaxing, chill game. So one of the kind of games I play. But miniature painting wise, so I originally got into the hobby when I was it was 17 years ago. Well, no, 18 years ago now. So when I was very young. I'm very old now, so. And yeah, I remember back then it was so third edition, so it was about 2000, 2001. Begged my parents to buy me the big box set, which would have been about 90, 100, 110 pounds, something like that. So relatively quite expensive for like a present for my parents to buy, but I didn't expect them to get it. Then they got it, and they got that for a load of paints and stuff, and kind of set off my journey of Warhammer. Me and my mates would do it. We'd all kind of go to his house and we'd paint together and we'd battle and stuff, and it was really fun. I used to do that all the way through high school. But when I got to college, I kind of met my now wife, then girlfriend. Kind of Warhammer got pushed aside, or a lot of my nerdy hobbies got pushed aside, and girls became the focus, and doing stuff like that, and going out, getting drunk and stuff was more what I was into. So kind of left the hobby. I didn't really think about it; just kind of disappeared. And then I remember one day, this was before I got proper back into it. I walked to a Games Workshop shop just because I was bored and nothing to do. I thought, I used to go here all the time. I go in and I started chatting to the guys, and I wasn't sure about it. And at the time, they felt very, the term is kind of gatekeeping. Like they were kind of saying, "Oh, this is our community." It felt very weird. It didn't feel inviting, so I kind of didn't go back to it after that. And then, obviously, as we all know, COVID hit. We had the pandemic. Obviously, looking for something to do to kind of separate my kind of work-home life balance, because you're kind of all in the same place all day long. It's quite getting a bit to me, and the stress of it all. So I literally was chatting with my mother-in-law, and she said, "Oh, what kind of hobbies could you do other than gaming?" And I was like, "I don't really know." And then we started talking about Warhammer, how I used to do it as a kid. And she randomly, just without even telling me, bought me a starter set, which was a 3 Death Guard Space Marines and a set of paints, paintbrushes, and stuff like that. And literally, because my father-in-law is a model builder, he does like World War II stuff, like planes and boats and stuff like that. So I set up with him and started doing painting. And then after that, it's kind of exploded into me getting really into it, and where I am now, where I'm streaming it and I'm on Instagram and post stuff all the time and buying way too many minis or way too much paint. So that's where I am at the moment. So
I love it. It's so awesome. Like, obviously, the pandemic was awful.
yeah,
However, it's amazing how people have used that time to get really back into like old hobbies or find new hobbies, and it's a really awesome thing to be involved in. Also,
yeah.
really, really sorry about the gatekeeping aspect of sort of going into the shop. That's definitely not the vibes that I haven't felt when I've been into the shop.
I would say that was quite a few years ago. So
Uh,
now, sorry, I should have clarified. Now it's not like that. When I first tried to get back into it, I would have been more in my 20s, and at that point, Warhammer was very much a closed-knit kind of community, and it still can be like that, but now it's a lot more open, a lot more accessible than it used to be.
That, I mean, oh, sorry. Oh, we've got some comments in. So, unpacking is sick from Jeremy. Yes, 100%. We've actually played it on the channel.
Really?
Yes, it was good fun. I think it won the BAFTA, didn't it? For
I don't. Yeah, it's played a lot by a lot of streamers, so I kind of picked up that, and it's just nice to play, and it's got a good story without having. It's weird. It's without actually having any kind of voice actor or anything like that. It still tells a really good story. Just by going through each room, different years, you can kind of see where the person's life progresses, changes, and stuff they've kept from a kid up until they're adult. It's very interesting. It's quite cool to see that.
It's very cool. Yes, highly recommend. And then Bethan has also highlighted. So I thought I was being really cool and snazzy. I set up Nightbot to have commands, and I had commands for Ukraine, so it took you to the right information page, for donate, so you could go and donate to the Ukraine page, and I even had one for you, so that it would send people to your Twitch channel, if they wanted to come find you. However, it seems to still have the old links, and I'm very confused because that's not what it says on the back end. So I don't really know what to do, but all I can say is don't donate there if anyone does want to donate, and then I'm gonna have to look this up a bit later, I'm sure. So apologies for that, guys. I don't really know how to fix that. A problem for another day. For now, let's just ignore the Nightbot.
Yeah, it's really the best thing to do.
So obviously we've talked a little bit about painting miniatures and the warm-up. What prompted you to get involved in the streaming side of things? Because that's a whole different kettle of fish. And we were talking just before we went live, but you sounds like there's lots of camaraderie around the other sort of miniature painters on Twitch as well, which is really awesome.
Sorry, it's really cool. Kind of like everyone kind of thinks of Twitch as being a gaming platform where people stream gaming. They have thousands of viewers and all this kind of stuff, and they do hot tub stream, all that rubbish. But there's another side of Twitch which is like art and crafts, and then part of that is obviously the miniature painting side of it. So us as miniature painters, we've kind of taken over the Warhammer tag, which was initially for the Warhammer computer games, and now if you go on the Warhammer tag, it's literally everyone's streaming painting Warhammer or playing live action games and stuff like that as well. And for me, kind of my friend, she's a streamer. She started doing Minecraft streams, and we kind of started at the same time. She's a very good Minecraft streamer, and she was kind of saying to me, "You should do it. Why not? It's not expensive to do." I had the webcams. I had if you go back to my very first VODs, it's a very terrible setup. It's very janky, and but it was something quick and easy to set up. I just started doing it. Initially, get one viewer a stream, like stuff like that, and it just it's always hard work. You got to put the work in to be able to get out of what you want. But it's fun. So you get your friends coming in, and like I was saying, now there's so many of us Warhammer streamers now. It's crazy. Like I originally used to watch someone called Green Eye Creations because she was on during the day, and I was obviously at work, so it was easy for me to hop on a Twitch stream on my iPad or whatever, and I worked that on. And I got a chat with her, and through her I met her husband or partner, Studio7, who's like a massive Warhammer streamer. He's like a partner of Twitch and everything. He's awesome guy, and they gave me some good tips to help. And I told them I was streaming as well. They very kindly raided into me, like 90 people, like on my fourth stream, and they all kind of followed me and got my follow count up to past 70 all that kind of stuff. It was amazing, and then I managed to get to affiliate. Once you got to affiliate, everything just kind of falls into place in it, and you just kind of can stream without having too much pressure, and it's really nice. And it's kind of exploded from there. Really, I've been streaming now for over a year, so it's I don't do it consistently as much because I just kind of stream when I have the time, which is normally late at night, like 10 o'clock onwards. But I still have a good following of people. I've met loads of awesome people through streaming, and hopefully meet them face to face this year. But it's crazy how many people are my friends this community through streaming and through Instagram that I'd never thought was possible before. It's just kind of mind blowing, really.
I love stories like that. I love that this 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 platform enables and facilitates friendships and people getting involved with different passions and interests, and it's a really amazing way of learning about new hobbies, but also doing your hobby in a really different way and sharing it with people. I just think it's a really beautiful thing, and really like therapeutic watching people paint things and draw things. It's great. I do love that side of Twitch. It's amazing, and yeah, you can't beat a good raid. It's like the most thrilling, like heartwarming thing when you're ploughing away with your one viewer. I love it.
It's always fun to get a good raid, and I've had some raids where I've literally completely blown me away by amazing artists. They are artists, and this guy called Minch's Den, Luca, who's an Italian. He's like an amazing artist. He raided me once with 200 people. I was like, bloody hell, this is insane. This is crazy. And he was like, no, Maidens, I love your stuff, and you're always chatting with me and stuff. And then the whole community is, well, before I said about gatekeeping, definitely now it's not like that. Because you can go to someone's stream and say, oh, how did you paint that? How did you get that particular colour? And they'll stop what they're doing. They'll say, right, I did this. And they're happy to tell you. Like, if someone came to my stream, I had it before, people said, like, I'm new to Warhammer. What you're doing is really cool. How do you get to that stage? And I'm happy, like, yeah, I'll happily stop and tell you, because you want other people to have that same experience as you and the passion that you have. And it's very easy to kind of, when someone asks you, oh, your work is really cool, can you tell me how you did it? It's like a massive ego boost. So you're going to want to tell people about it. So
yes. This sounds awesome. That sounds amazing. Speaking of new people in the chat, Raid, the city has just joined us. Lieben work, which is lovely. Hi, lovely to have you. And like I said, Jeremy is still at work also.
I'm technically still at work.
So am I. And just Raid the city, please ignore Nightbot. I tried to be clever and it failed miserably, is essentially what we're getting at. So please ignore that for now. But I also wanted to say, I completely forgot at the beginning. If you guys have any questions, do just pop them in the chat. I'm sure we'd love to answer any questions you've got. Or yeah, any news. Just let us know how your day's going, how your week's going, what are you painting at the minute, or what you're playing at the minute. We'd love to hear it. Essentially, is what I'm getting at. Oh, I've got so many messages going on. So tell me more about your stream. So obviously you did a really amazing stream for us back in March, and you raised a really awesome £435, and you did a raffle throughout that, and it was so lovely to have you come on the Discord and talk about it and talk about all the prizes in your raffle, but also just really awesome that you came and supported our Ukraine appeal in that way. But was this your very first charity stream, or had you done one before?
Yeah, it's the first ever charity stream I've done. I've been a part of others' charity streams, like donating and stuff. But it's the first one I ever done. I did a bit different to what most people do. Most people kind of do like a 12-hour stream. With young children, that's not really viable. And work and stuff, that's not really something I could kind of do. So I kind of thought I did a little bit different. I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll say for the month of March, every stream I do in March is going to be raised money towards Ukraine. And literally, as soon as I found out, as soon as I saw this was happening in Ukraine, I knew I had to do something. I felt I can't go there and fight. I can't go do that. What I can do is try and raise some money. To be honest, I thought I'd raise about 50 quid. I didn't think I'd raise as much as I did. So I was very happy with what I did. But yeah, and it was just very shocking things that are going on over there. And I really felt I really want to help people, because I don't necessarily have a connection with Ukraine, but I feel kind of a solidarity with them as they're just people. They're just normal people, go by their every day. all of a sudden they've got tanks run up at their front door. They go through enough hardship there as it is to then now have this happening. I thought I can't just stand by and not do anything, kind of thing. So that was kind of my thought process on it. And a few friends have done like streams for charity for like cancer research or mental health ones, and I thought no one at the time was doing a Ukraine stream. I was kind of one of the first ones to kind of pick it up. A few others did it after I did as well. But when I was on, I knew about Tiltify through other streamers, so I went on Tiltify and had a look, see what's available, and I didn't really know what I was doing. But then I looked for the charity listing, and British Red Cross stood out for me as charity of choice, really, because the Red Cross as a whole has always been forefront of being there in like kind of war situations and kind of helping out the kind of the innocent people who get caught up in it. And I thought that's a perfect kind of fit right as well. So I set up the account, linked it all up, got all the banner up and everything, did all that. Pretty much as soon as I announced it, nearly everyone from work donated money. And I was already, before I even started streaming, which is crazy. And then I thought, well, I'm going to need some prizes. Initially, it was just my own prizes that I did. So I painted up a bust on stream, which I gave away as a prize. And I also make miniature handles. So for you put your miniature on top of it, you paint it. It's called a Grim Grip. So I did a custom one of those with the Ukrainian flag colours and a British Red Cross logo, which I'll show you the picture of that earlier. And then initially that was the only prizes. And then one of my good friends, Paddy, he will hate the fact I'm calling him out on this, but he not only donated the most money, he also said, "Yeah, I'll print out some images for you." He has a lot of 3D printers at home. He agreed to give away 3 different prizes for people for that. And then his friend, who was now my friend, she offered 2 £25 vouchers. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Already, this is more than I ever expected. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to go a bit further because I really want to raise as much money as I can. And the more prizes you have, the more people want to donate. So I contacted different companies. A few of them didn't reply, but one that did reply was Griffin Gaming. So big shout out to Griffin Gaming. They're an awesome little small like hobby store based in Harlow. And they gifted one of probably the best prizes, which was a starter set for Age of Sigmar, which is one of the games through Games Workshop. About 70 quid price tag on it, and they just gave it to me for free. So I was like, wow, this is amazing. So that was an awesome prize to give away. And then we got some other prizes in there as well, like the vouchers, like I said, the stuff I was giving out, stuff Paddy gave as well. So we had a good like chunk of prizes to give away, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun. And doing it through the month was good because people could come in and out of streams and they might not have known about it straight away. They come in, oh, you donate, and they donate money and stuff. And it was good. And then on the last stream we did on the Friday, which was a couple of weeks ago now, did the giveaway. People were still donating money on the giveaway, which is amazing. Even when it closed and we'd given away every away, they still donated money. I was like, that's awesome. So yeah, so good bunch of guys and some good prizes and some good people coming in and donating. So it was a lot of fun.
Oh, it sounds like you have an absolutely stellar, like just beautifully warm-hearted community and network around you. Like that is awesome. Like those prizes and just it's just awesome to see what happens when everyone pulls together and is sort of going towards the same direction, and it's just awesome. Essentially, is what I'm getting at. I say the word awesome far too much, but
it is awesome though.
It is. It's just really heartwarming to see how everyone has pulled together in for the Ukraine appeal in particular. Absolutely blown my mind the totals that people have raised, and it's great. It's great. And it's a horrific, really devastating thing that's happening in Ukraine, and I know everyone is wanting to do what they can, and this, I feel, is a really great way for everyone to do their own little bit with the skills and the passion and the community that they have, and bring everyone on that journey with them. So it's been awesome to see. Lovely Jeremy has said essentially what I'm guessing is a bit of a thank you, and learned a bunch from you and others about painting on the Discord channel. Yeah, it's been really awesome. Like, big shout out to Raid for setting up that channel on the Discord, because it's our busiest channel. It's gone from only existing a couple of weeks to being super duper busy.
I'm a bit of a I don't want to swear, but someone who likes to show off their stuff all the time.
So
I like
you
going to people's
should.
Discords and spam it. Like, this is what I've done, this is what I've done, this is what I've done.
But so you should. It's awesome, and it's so lovely to be able to share it and share your what you've learnt from doing it, but also what has inspired you to do that. I don't think it's very, very cool. So keep doing it, I guess, is what I'm getting at. I guess sort of, what would your top tips be for someone who is looking to do a stream? Like I say, we've spoken to a lot of our fabulous, amazing fundraisers who have done streams before, but they've all been around games, which is obviously very different. But not only have you done it around painting miniatures, but you've also done it over the month in that bitty way. And I guess what advice would you give to other people who are maybe looking to do a charity stream in that way? Because it is a very different kettle of fish, I guess.
Yeah, so I think for me, people who do know me, who watch me, know that I'm not the best at sticking to schedules and time frames and stuff like that. So they kind of expect me not to appear when I say I will. So I thought, because my kids are young, if they wake up, I've got to go settle them down. I can't always guarantee I'm going to be able to be there for that particular time. So I thought it would be best to kind of run it for the month. I can guarantee at least one stream a week. So that's at least 4 streams. I think I end up doing 5 or 6 at the end. Yeah, it kind of works out better for me that way because, like I said, I'll be promoting it all the time. So the way I kind of do it is I use Instagram as a good platform for promotion because I've got quite a good following on Instagram. And using stories on Instagram is a very good way of promoting your streams. You can put like a little link in there which people can tap on. You can do some crazy like videos or photos, whatever you want, animated GIFs and stuff like that. So loads of options in a story, which I think gets a better view than a post does. So you can put a post up if you're saying like next week will be this. Here's the schedule. That works as well. But if like me, you don't see schedules, it's best to stick it in a story that morning or the day before and just kind of keep it up on that. And another way is to use a countdown in Instagram as well. So you can have a countdown timer. People can either like, set it to remind them when it finishes and stuff like that, which is a good way of getting to kind of get interest and engage people into your stream. And then the other thing as well, like the community itself is, unlike I found with the gaming community, we're very open with people saying, "Oh, I'm streaming at this time," and that people aren't going to get annoyed by that. Obviously, you always ask permission first if you post anything on someone's live chat. But if you're on the Discord, there's normally most people have a section of the Discord that says self-promotion. You can put in your stream schedule, your Instagram, whatever. So I tend to spam all the Warhammer streamers with when I'm doing stuff to get them in, so they know what's going on. Another good way as well. Yeah, that's kind of where, promotion wise, that's what I do. Some other people don't do any promotions at all; they just rely on the notification from Twitch to come up. But if they're a bigger streamer, they're more likely to stick to their schedules so people when they're streaming. So that's probably why. But I would say if you're brand new to streaming, it's a good thing. What I do is I don't necessarily stream all the time, but I'm always in other streams. I'm always talking, always chatting, saying hello to people, sticking up an emote, whatever. So you get to know people that way, so they know you from chat. Like for example, I was in someone's stream yesterday for the first time. He was like, "Haven't you been in before?" I was like, "No, we chatted in like 4 other streams before to each other, but we never watched each other," which is quite funny. So, we kind of you already felt like we knew each other without having even seen each other, which is quite funny. So you get that as well, and that's what I say. Be active and be active in the streams that your stream will be in, so that category. Make friends with the people, so you'll kind of get to know each other, and then most importantly, get a really good mod. Because a good mod goes a long way. They really help you out. My mod's awesome. He was for like 10 other Warhammer streamers. He's like a very busy man, but he's a really good mod. And, he'll do shout outs to people. He'll welcome people in, whatever. He'll put up. He'll quote. That's thing where he can capture someone's, like, if I say something stupid, he'll go add quote what I said, and then the date and the time. And the amount of times I've looked at him, like, oh no, don't quote that. And he'll have a list. He's a spreadsheet there, so he's got a spreadsheet with all the quotes in, and he'll just when he thinks it's appropriate time or inappropriate time, he'll put that quote on the chat, and everyone starts laughing. And, oh, do you remember that time Maidens said that? Okay, never get away from it.
Nice.
But yeah, there's lots of that going on, and so a good mod goes a long way, and be kind to your mods, I'd say as well. They do it for free, so they deserve all the love. But yeah, it's just when you're first starting out, it can be daunting, especially if you're trying to do a gaming stream. I've tried to do gaming streams. Now I'm a bit more established, and even then it's still hard because you go up against people with 10,000 viewers, so it's ridiculously hard. But with Warhammer, the most I've seen someone in a stream, like people-wise, about 500. So it sounds big. It's big for us, but it's quite small in the gaming Twitch kind of platform. But we are getting bigger as a kind of category. And I know a couple of the partners who are Warhammer streamers are pushing. They keep having talks with Twitch about setting up a separate category called miniature painting. That's what we ideally want, because we don't always paint Warhammer. Because there's miniatures from all different companies. There's loads of companies out there for miniatures, not just Games Workshop. So they're trying to get it set up so we can have our own dedicated miniature painting category within Twitch, which would be great. That eventually, if that happens, that'd be awesome, because it'll be a lot more people be able to find us a lot easier. So.
That makes sense. And anything on the fundraising side, like any advice on sort of how you found that?
The fundraising, it was more like I said, I really wanted to do something, and from being in past streams, who've done fundraising, whatever, I kind of knew the kind of dynamic of how certain streamers do things. So I went more just traditional route of a giveaway at the end, like £5 gives you a raffle ticket that enters you into draw, and you can, as many times you donate £5, you get another ticket. So if you put in like 50 quid, then you got quite a few tickets there. But even with one ticket, you still have a chance of winning. And I think Tiltify is definitely the best place to go, because it was so easy to set up, and they had the overlays built into it already, and just copy and pasting the OBS browser link into your OBS, and that was it. It was done. The overlay was there, the alerts were there, it did it all for you. So that made it really easy as well. So that was the one thing I was worried about. How do I set that up? But no, it's relatively simple to do. And yeah, if you do it through Tiltify, you haven't got to worry about any admin or anything, because it automatically goes to where you're told to go. So you haven't got to do anything. There's nothing, no money to collect physically. There's nothing going. It's like a PayPal account. You got to try and think where it's going to go, and you got to pay admin charges. It's just all, as soon as someone donates, it's gone to the right place, which is perfect. Which is what you want. So
absolutely, yeah. You don't want all that sort of trouble. And the gang over at Tiltify are good eggs. They're definitely trying to make it as easy as possible for streamers to get fundraising, I guess, to get the money in. So no, it's awesome. Would you recommend doing a giveaway, or would you, if you were thinking of doing another one? This isn't me planting a seed, by the way. This is me just having a question. Just, would you go about fundraising in a different way, do you think? Or would you stick with, the giveaway was good, it worked?
I'd like to do. I would like to do like a long stream, like a 12-hour stream or something. I'd have to factor in holiday time and try and set up, but do something like a long stream where I paint something for the entire stream, and then people can donate but have thresholds. So when you reached £100, I dyed my beard blue or something like that. Something stupid like that. So starting to get people engaging with it. I know another streamer, let's make it Orky. She did a really good stream where every time we got to a certain threshold, she'd have these packets of bugs that you can eat, like candied scorpions and stuff like that, and she'd eat them on the stream, and it was disgusting and gross stuff like that. So
It was
so there's things
disgusting,
like
but it
that.
was good to watch.
Rather than having a giveaway, you do other things where it's you kind of get the streamer to do something. Like another good streamer, JW Miniatures, he had a goal of £1,500. He ended up smashing that to 2,000. But he said if he got to that point, he'd shave his hair off. He thought, I'll never get to that, it's fine. He got to that because everyone's like, yes, why do you shave your hair? Of course we do. He shaved his whole head bald on stream.
Amazing.
That was that's another thing as well. So there's always ways to go around it. You don't have to do a giveaway. For me, it was the easiest one to do because I do have some good connections with people, so I could get some good prizes. And I knew I couldn't stream for a long time, so it made sense. This way, people get a raffle ticket and don't have to be in stream to win a prize, kind of thing.
Definitely. On a side note, I love that you are giving all these other awesome people shout outs. So that if anyone wanted to go and find them, then you've given their name and they can just go and find them. I think it's
definitely.
Yeah.
That is what at the end of the day, we're yes, I'm a streamer, and yes, technically you could go watch another streamer while I'm streaming, but it's not really about that. For me, it's I'm not here to make money out of streaming. There are streamers out there who do it as their job, but they stream for 7 hours a day. That's fair enough. That's their job. This for me is just part of my hobby. So I'm hobbying. I thought, turn the camera on while I hobby. Why not? Have some people in chat with them, do some funny stuff on stream. For me, it's just the extension of my hobby. But because I've met so many good people through this the streaming side of it, I want to give them recognition for what they've done and how they've definitely helped me progress as a streamer and a painter. So Jeremy, I'm sorry, chat. He said I should be writing them down. Don't worry, I can give you a whole list of really good streamers. I'll put it in the Discord of all the really good streamers. There's tons of us out there, but there's some real good British ones, and there's some good American ones as well. I even just now looking at my list of people who are on stream. There's loads of guys out there right now. So it's when I first started watching Warhammer stream, I will say this because I've just noticed it pop up. Is I only thought there was the Warhammer stream. So Games Workshop did their own Twitch streams. And that's the only one I watched. I didn't even think there was other people doing it. It didn't even cross my mind. And then one day, I can't remember, I think Twitch recommended me Really Nice Creations. I was like, who's this? What is this? Someone else is doing it? How weird. And I went on it, and then that's it. I followed her, and then an hour later I subscribed to her because this is amazing. So it's that was a few years ago. It's the whole Twitch side of it kind of exploded in the pandemic. Everyone was streaming during the day or late to the night. There was loads of us doing it. Obviously, when that happened, people came back to a regular routine of work. Less people stayed, and they kind of did their times changed and stuff like that. So we have lost a lot of the daytime streamers, but you can definitely find Australians that are doing it. That's why I tend to do Australians and South Africans now. I've got a couple of those that I watch for major streaming. So it's a worldwide thing. So it's not just in the UK.
It sounds great. It sounds like such beautiful. I've already said this, but it sounds like such a great little community, and not little, a big community, a global community. And it sounds like a really great, fun place to be. So yeah, thanks for chatting about it, but also opening my eyes to it.
Yeah, I think one thing I will say is that November this year, I can't remember the exact date, there is a giant streamer chat meetup happening in Warhammer World in Nottingham. So there's already streamer-wise about 20 25 streamers going, I think, from across the UK, and then tons of people from chat going as well, across all the different streamers. We're all meeting up for the first time, pretty much forever, at Warhammer World, and we've booked out pretty much the entire place. We've got 7 tables, so 7 gaming tables and 2 seating tables. That's huge amount of space for Warhammer World. So we'll be there in November. I think it's November 26th. Which is a Saturday. I think they've also expanded to Sunday because there's so many people going. So yeah, I'll be there, and
wow,
a lot of other streamers will be as well. So
that, I mean, awesome to get everyone in one room chatting and meeting finally. That sounds great. I have a feeling Jeremy might want to go to that.
yeah.
Sorry, I keep doing this because my chat is behind my screen, so I have to keep going like this to look at the chat, which looks very antisocial. But yeah, I love this. It's great. Right, I have 2 more questions. But
sure.
Jeremy or anyone else in chat, if you've got any questions, this is your time. This is your final countdown to get those questions in the chat. But essentially, was going to ask around. Obviously, you're painting a lot. So, what does this mean? Are you constantly having extra like when you play? Which of your armies do you play with, or are you constantly just bringing new ones in? What happens to the old ones?
I have yet to play,
Okay.
because I haven't built a whole army yet, because I get distracted very easily, get new models all the time, and end up doing that instead. But I've got to focus because, like I said, November's the meetup. I've got to have my army built and done, painted, and learn all the rules. That'd be the hardest part. But no, you paint the miniatures, you play the miniatures. That's the idea. So obviously you do have display pieces. People do. I've done a few just display only, where it's a diorama, so you can't technically play with those because they're glued onto a diorama. But you have an army. I've decided my army is going to be orcs. So I've bought a lot of orcs. The price is quite high, like £500 worth. But I went a bit crazy and bought everything. So
you need to be ready for November. It's very important.
Yeah, I've got so much stuff in a box not even touched yet. But that's another story. That's a story to see on my stream. So let's talk about it. But Jerry's what army I'm building is orc army. So I'm going for orcs, and I'm going to get technical now. The Bad Moon Boys, which is a particular clan in the orc armies, which is yellow. So yellow is one of the hardest colours to paint. So I decided to pick the hardest colour to paint my army in. So I don't know why I did that.
How
Give
come?
myself a
Because
challenge.
it's really thin, so you have to do a lot of
Sorry?
layers. Is it because it's really thin and you have to do a lot of layers?
Yeah, so yellow paint tends to be notoriously difficult to kind of get a good coat on. So yeah, but I've got about 10 different yellows to try. So I've got a good choice of yellows to go through and test which colour scheme I like most. That's the other thing I have a problem with, is buying too much paint.
I mean, I have no problem with that. I have a whole cupboard of art supplies, so I'm with you. I have far too many paints.
I've got a lot of paints, but yeah, that's the other thing. If I'm not buying minis, I'm buying paint. So that's the other thing.
Well, I'm sure the Yellow Endeavour is going to be great. I look forward to seeing it. And yeah, just intrigued what all these different yellows. And so are they all slightly different colours, or?
Yeah, so I've got shading going from a dark to a light, so I can blend but it's not so much just the colour. Different brands do different coverage, so I'm trying out different ones to see which one I like the most.
Oh goodness! Wow, this is very technical, but it's cracking. I love it. I love it. Yes, yellow is very difficult. Yes, Jeremy is saying you need a lot of orcs.
You do.
And then my final question was going to be around cameras for your stream, because obviously you're working on something very small. And then there's lots of different angles to it. How have you navigated the camera situation essentially?
Right. So I have 2 cameras, one for what we're doing now, like a face cam, and then a model cam, which is looking down at the table. To be fair, my cameras aren't the best in the world. They're just bog standard Logitech C920s, which are like everyone at some point got one from work. I ended up with two of them, and I've kept them, and so they're mine now. But I have like an arm mount which clamps onto the table, which angles over the miniature, the camera on it. Like, I'm trying to show you like this, so it's looking down the table, and then I fiddle around with all the settings to get the focus right, to get the saturation right, and the white balance correct. So a lot of my time before stream is fiddling with the camera, because Windows likes to forget every setting you put in there every time you unplug it. So I have to do the camera every time. But my setup is, I would say, not crude, but basic. But I try and make it look really good with lighting. Just comes out a lot of different things. So, for example, the cutting mat I use to have my miniatures on the table, initially I had a black one with white lines, and that actually caused a lot of issues with the cameras. It kind of caused like a flickering effect. So I changed that to a grey one, and I've had a lot more better results of that. And then I have like an overhead LED light which has three different settings, like daylight, like oranger light. So depending on what I'm painting, I change the colour of the light to get the camera to pick up. Because obviously what you see with your eyes is very different to what the camera sees. So I might see very vibrant green on what I'm looking at, which is what it is, but the camera's picking up and it's really dull. So you have to play around with the settings to kind of get the right image across. Obviously, a lot of people who have more money than I do buy really, really fancy DSLR cameras or 4K cameras and use that, which is great. If you can afford to do that, do that. But if you can't, just two bog standard webcams will do you fine. As long as they're 1080p, they do full HD, you'll have a good time. So you don't have to break the bank to get decent cameras. A lot of it comes down to is settings and what the camera's looking at as well. Kind of does depend how good it looks. So you have to kind of think about that as well. Lighting in the room and stuff like that, and where the light's positioned, and so you don't get shadows and stuff like that. So yeah.
Lots to think about. Yeah, that was a very selfish question in that I have been known to do one or two painting streams, and I also have a very rudimentary setup and have just the one camera, but also the colours just weren't making sense, and I was talking about the colours and everyone was like, it looks like a different colour. So now I feel like I've got a lot more intel about I need to be more technical.
And then one more thing which I'm going to be trying on next stream is actually using my phone as a camera or wet palette. So I have a wet palette which has the paint I'm using on it, but the camera that's looking at the miniature is not the right exposure to see the paint properly on that, so people can't tell what the colour is, like you were saying about the colour. So you have to use the camera on the phone and just kind of sit above the wet palette so people can see what colours I'm using and how I'm mixing them and stuff like that. So that's the other thing people do. So just add another camera to my setup, why not? 3 cameras, why not?
I think that's the norm now. I think you're meant to have 3 cameras from what I can tell. I don't have enough room on my desk for 3 cameras. What arm am I painting? None currently, although I have been promised, maybe not promised, gifted a couple to play with, which I am definitely going to do in the most outrageous colours I can find, and make them look like Disney characters, because
you can. People have done some very cool Space Marines look like Buzz Lightyear, which is pretty cool.
Yes, that's what Jeremy showed me
so
at the
someone
weekend.
did a full Toy Story Space Marine army, which is amazing. And then someone else did something called a Squig, which is like a dog with loads of teeth and no fur, and 2 legs. That's not like a dog at all. But people converted them to look like Pokemon. It's really cool.
Cool.
Like an Onyx and a Pikachu and all these different things. So everything, basically, your imagination is all that stops you. Because if you can't think, if you think of something, you're very much like do it. Like you get some modelling clay or putty or green stuff, whatever, you can make anything out of you turn that Space Marine into some crazy 10-foot monstrosity. I don't know.
I might not be doing that, but I'm definitely going to have some fun with it. Yes, Alex did present me with is it an owl bear as part of the D&D painting set, which had some great pinks and purples and lots of different greens, which I was like, that could all be magical, whatever it is. And I
Do you
will
love doing that?
be sharing that. So, yes. But yeah, what ones are you painting at the minute, Jeremy? Oh, you saw a Ghostbuster Marines on Instagram. Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, there's definitely the options out there is it's only limited by what you can do really. So yeah, it's good. Like the community is like, if you're playing the game, you can still convert stuff, but it has to be within the realms of the game. But if you just want to make a model for yourself, it doesn't really matter. So no one's going to tell you no. But there's also not just Games Workshop miniatures. So I would say most people are going to start off with Games Workshop Warhammer stuff, but then they'll go on a stream. Oh, what are you painting? Oh, it's a model from Spellpro. And they're like, well, what's that? It makes fantasy miniatures, which is why I get all my miniatures from there as well. And there's so many different companies out there making miniatures, and then there's a whole world of 3D printing, which just completely, it's too much to even fathom. If you can afford to get a 3D printer, then you're going to have a hell of a lot of fun making whatever you want, basically. So, which is really good. But I would say, before we kind of go, like, a kind of tip for beginners, if you're first starting out, and whatever you do, the one rule that I've always stuck by and was taught from the very beginning is always thin your paints, because the paint out of a pot of Citadel paint is too thick to go straight on a miniature. Make sure you dilute it with some water first. So there's a very famous painter who used to work for Games Workshop. He now has his own company called Duncan Rhodes, and his catchphrase was "too thin coats." So he's called Duncan Too Thin Coats Rhodes, because that was always his mantra, was thin your paints, too thin coats, that colour, like to do it, rather than one thick coat, because otherwise you obscure all the detail.
That is excellent internal internal knowledge going there.
Yeah, it's just
top secret.
Everyone, yeah, you don't think about it. No one tells you until you do it wrong. They're like, oh, you should have thinned your paint.
Well, now we know. Yeah. Jeremy is currently painting Black Templars, and then also has Fellowship of the Ring to do as well.
I've seen what he's doing on Discord.
It's cool.
Taking over his life and your life probably a bit as well.
Yes, it's looking good. Right, well, unless there is anything else to chat about, like in terms of, is there anything else that you wanted to say that you haven't said? Also, if you have any more questions, Jeremy, this is your last minute warning.
Apart from self-promotion,
Go for it.
Obviously, you can find me on twitch.tv/maidensminis or instagram.com/maidensminis. In both of those places, I'm mainly more on Instagram nowadays than streaming, but I will be streaming hopefully this week. But Instagram is where to go to see everything I'm doing, and keep up to date with my work and stuff like that. I also, this is like really now very selfish of me to say this, but I also offer commissions. So I do painting commissions, and I also am the only UK seller of the Grim Grip, which is the miniature handle, which I did at my giveaway. So I also have an Etsy store, which is etsy.com/shop/maidensminis. Everything is /maidensminis. So, keep my branding consistent. And I sell this particular hobby handle there as well. And like I said, I do commissions also. Commission-wise, I've just got another one coming in, which I'm going to paint. So it's not just Warhammer I paint. Someone who I work with has asked me to paint up some miniatures for a board game he plays, which are basically like B-movie monsters. It's like werewolf, Invisible Man, Dracula, stuff like that. So that's gonna be fun to do. It's my first time doing kind of board game miniatures, so that'll be interesting.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
that's me. That's me in a nutshell.
you in a nutshell. Well, you in a nutshell has been absolutely fabulous, and like just genuinely, thank you so much for coming on and chatting to us this evening. I say us, I feel like the royal we. I meant the grander British Red Cross gaming and streaming gang. But no, thank you, and thank you so much for taking part in Operation Ukraine. It was very, very awesome of you and your community to raise that much money as well. So just thank you and congratulations on that as well. For your first one as well. Awesome. Just awesome stuff. I'm very quickly going to do a little plug for tomorrow. So I'm doing a double whammy of our spotlight streams because we've got Badly Wayne tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. We're going to hear all about playing GTA 5 as an emergency responder.
That's cool.
It was. I did watch some of the highlights. I didn't manage to watch it when Badly Wayne was live, but it was very cool. And Badly Wayne used to work in the ambulance service, so got to compare and contrast GTA 5 to the real world.
It's real life. A little bit different.
A little bit different. But looking forward to that. It's going to be awesome. So we're going to be back here at 5 PM tomorrow. And so our Operation Ukraine is still open if anyone's interested. And still, obviously, the need is still great. But equally, there are so many other crises happening across the globe that haven't stopped, sadly, because of the Ukraine crisis. So obviously we're still fundraising for those. And if you are interested and want to hear any more about that, then do get in touch. So you can find me on Discord, you can message me through the Twitch channel, or you can email me at gaming@redcross.org.uk. But we'd love to have you, whatever capacity it could be, even if you just want to find out for a future date. But yeah, thank you. So just sort of to sign off, we have finally had Tanya's popped by. Thank you so much for popping in, Tanya. Yes, Operation Ukraine has been amazing. It's just mind-blowingly amazing. I have no words. But yeah, once again, thank you so much, Maiden Mini, for coming along. It's been lovely, and I'm sure we'll see so much more of you on the Discord as well. So that's cracking.
We'll be there every day. So
awesome stuff. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, and have a good evening, and potentially see you tomorrow evening as well. It's a crazy time.
Well, thank you very much for having me. Thank you for inviting me on, and yeah, it's been nice to chat about this. It's been fun. It's been good.
Definitely been fun. It's been awesome. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Have a good evening, Tanya. Have a good evening, Jeremy, and Raid, if you're still there. Right, we're gonna head off now. I'm gonna attempt to really smoothly turn off everything on OBS. So I'm gonna do that now. Bye.